Alright, the first thing you want to do is disconnect the negative battery terminal. It's got a 10mm nut here. I got a 10mm socket. You don't have to take the nut off, just loosen it up. Take the battery terminal, twist it, pull it off, and tuck it to the side. You want to make sure, because if you put it down, you see how it starts coming back up. It's a good possibility to come back up and touch that. Now, we're not going to be touching anything electrical, but this is just to be safe. Tuck that to the side. Take your same 10mm bolt, and we have this air duct right here. It's going to be a 10mm bolt right here. And right across, we got another 10mm bolt. Take those out. Pick the front of it up, and you want to pull it out of the air filter housing. Just like that. Now, good idea, what you want to do, instead of putting your bolts in a bucket or a pile or something, put it back to where you got them. Just put them in by a couple of threads, and then we're going to set that to the side. Now we're gonna have to remove this air filter housing. Now we can take this and remove it all at one piece, but we're gonna do it separately so we can take a look at the air filter at the same time. Take these clips, pop them up just like this. You saw it fell back. It's gonna set down in grooves, and that's all you have to do is just pick it straight up. And this is what I'm talking about. You got a tab right here and a tab right here, and they set right in there. Now you're not going to look at this side of the air filter, because this side of the air filter is going to always be clean. Air comes in through this way. So what you want to do is take that up.
Whoa!
Yeah, and yeah, do that, and it ain't too bad. Now what you want to do is put this up to sunlight, and if you can see light through it, it's good. But this one looks kind of dirty, so we're gonna
stuff inside.
Oh, well, we're gonna knock all out in a few minutes. We're gonna replace that anyway. All right, let's go put this to the side. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is remove the engine cover. And the engine cover is gonna be held on by 3 5mm hex bolts. This one is missing, so we got the 2 right over here. And you got a 5mm hex. Go ahead, take them out, and take the cover off. Put it to the side, and put the bolts back in there just by a couple of threads. Alright, I got the bolts in here, and that's all you're going to do is just pick this right up, bring it to the side, and you're going to just put these bolts in back by a couple of threads. Now we got this, see this hose, this breather hose right here? This clamp is actually supposed to be down there. We're going to take this off. This black, the valve covers are plastic, so you want to be very careful when you go to take this hose off right here. So let's get you a pair of pliers, and we're going to take that off together. Alright, now what you want to do is get your pair of pliers. Now you want to break the seal. First you want to grab it slightly. Don't squeeze it, because remember, that's plastic. Twist it back and forth to break the seal. Now at the same time, you want to pick it up just like that. Leave it off just like that. Take your pliers now, and you're going to have this harness right here going to your mass airflow sensor. First of all, let's unplug it. You got a tab right there. You're going to push that tab into the connector and pick up on the plug. Done. Now you got 2 arrow clips that's holding in. I'm going to try to get this one with the pliers. And what you're going to do is just squeeze both of the sides while pulling that out. Let's see if I can get in there. Hold on 1 minute, guys. All right, we're back. You got another arrow clip here. You're going to squeeze the terminals, squeeze the ends inside, squeeze them together, and pull back on the clip. Take that right out, put it to the side. Now, you got a clamp right here. You can either use a flat screwdriver or an 8mm socket or a 5/16 socket. And that's all you want to do is loosen up this clamp. Make sure it's pretty good and loose, because we're going to take all this off together. Now, to take this air breather up, you're going to have get a little light action here. Alright, right down in there, you see a 10mm bolt. Right there. You got to take that bolt out, and over here is just set, it's just like a tab set into a grommet. I'll show you in a minute. First of all, and I got a 6-inch 3/8 drive extension with a deep 10mm socket. Go down there. take that bolt up. Now this you got to be careful with, because sometimes you grab it if you too rough with it, it'll break that tab off down there, which actually, did that feel like it? No, it's not broken. But before you do that, you want to grab right here and take this, just loosen it up, or take it off just like that, and then pop up on it, take the whole thing out. And here's the tab I was telling you about that pushes right down into that grommet. And actually, just notice it, there's the grommet over here as well. They go to that tab. Alright, let's put this down. Alright, the next thing we're going to do, let's disconnect our brake fluid level sensor. On the other side of this tab, on the other side of this plug, I'm going to show you in a minute, there's a tab that you got to push in this way and then pull this out. Alright, there's the tab right there. So you just want to squeeze it in and unplug that. Now here's another one of those arrow clips up here. Now you can't really see it, so you're gonna have to use your fingers or a little screwdriver. What you do is take one side and push it in while pulling up on the clip, and it came up, and then reach to the other side, pop that up, put it to the side. The next thing we do, guys, take you some rags, put you some rags down there. Don't have to be all that pretty, just right about there. Now, here's your brake fluid lines. There's both of these are 10mm nuts. So you can use a 10mm wrench, which I don't recommend because it might strip off. You want to use your flare wrench, a line wrench. And this is what I mean by a line wrench. It's like a close-in wrench, which is cut open right there. And what you want to do is go ahead, loosen that up, then get to the other one, which is going to be a pain to get to. Alright. That one loose. Try to get them to a point where... Now, once you break them loose, you can get you a regular 10mm wrench, which I might do, because sometimes it's difficult to get this one. Okay, let's see. Okay, that one's starting to loosen up. Alright, so what we're going to do is here, get that one almost all the way out. And then we're going to go to this one. I'm not going to take them out all the way yet. Good enough. Alright, let's set that rags right there, and now let's get us a socket and an extension to get, you got a nut right here and a nut right here, and those are what's holding on the master cylinder. Alright, so let's get that. Alright, let's situate this a little bit better right here, and you're going to take a 13mm deep, and you got the nut right here. Drop it and then lose it. And you look down there like you're crazy in the face and wondering where it go. But anyway, let's get to it. Let's get the second one. Alright. Now, you can continue. Then I got a little open-end wrench. Make this a lot easier for me to take these lines off. Now, directions on a master cylinder tells you to bleed the master on the bench first and then just put it up here and you'll be good to go. I don't like doing that, so don't do that, because you still take a chance in air going into the line. So if you follow that, then that's on you. What I like to do is actually go to each wheel and bleed them. I'll bleed it from the master up here, but that's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go bleed them right at the wheels so I can make sure I got no air nowhere. Alright, so you got both lines out. Hold the lines back, take the master cylinder, pull it forward, get it out of this line, out of the car, just like that. Alright, let's go get our new one. Alright, we got our new master cylinder. You got these protection plugs right here. You can go ahead and take them right out. You're not going to need them in there, so remember to take them out. Alright, let's get our master cylinder over here. Put it down in there. Get them lined up with the studs. Now, at this point right here, guys, that's all I want you to do. Whoops. Let's get this good. Dang it, line got stuck in here. Alright. Before you put the nuts up here, what I want you to do is take your lines and start them off into the master cylinder just a little bit, just by a couple threads. Make sure it's not cross-threaded. Don't tighten it up at all. About 2 or 3 threads. That's it. This one, good. Now, start putting your nuts on it. Turn it by a couple threads so you don't get it cross-threaded. And oh, that's right, I dropped the other one. Let me go get the other one. All right, got the other nut. Put it on by a couple threads, and we can go ahead, hold that back, and we can go ahead, tighten those 2 up. Go over here, plug up our sensor. Put the tab in over here. Now, this is what you're going to do. This is how you're going to bleed this. What you're going to do is, now we're going to fill this up with brake fluid all the way, and we're going to just let it sit. It's called gravity bleeding. It's going to, eventually, you're going to see the fluid start dripping out of here. And then once you see the fluid dripping out of there, then we're going to tighten that up. So, let's go get us some brake fluid and put it inside here. Alright, now before we put our brake fluid in, you want to make sure you're putting the right brake fluid in, because there's different kind of dot series on there. Look at your cap, and it's going to tell you. This one says, tell me when you can see that.
Use only dot 3.
Dot 3. So we put it to the side. We got dot 3 brake fluid. Don't reuse your old brake fluid. I know some of you are cheap. Okay, you're going to pour it in there to fill this up. And if you have to, use a funnel. It's going to keep on going. And it shouldn't take too long for it to actually start dripping out of those the holes. And once it's done, then you know the master cylinder is actually bled. Now, sometimes if you put those threads in too much, you may have to back out the line.
I see some, but I think it's bubbly.
So that means it is airing out. That's good. Don't put your cap on it. Just leave it just like that. Which one did you see it coming out of?
The front, I see bubbles.
And now just you can start dripping right there. So it's traveling down. Here's this one started to just saw a drip from that one.
We can't see with your finger in the way.
Excuse me. Dang.
I see bubbles.
Which one?
On the front one.
This one?
Yeah.
Alright, that's good. And actually, we can loosen this up a little bit. So we actually start seeing. There
it is.
And that right there, that one is good. Bring that in. To the stops, and if you want to make this one faster, you can actually loosen that one up again a little bit more.
I see some coming out. Oh, maybe it was you moving it.
Huh?
Maybe it was you moving it.
It probably is. Yeah, it's starting to drip. You see a drip right here?
Yeah, I see it.
So it's coming out faster. It's probably bled already by now. Let's drink one just a little bit more. Yeah, there we got a lot. Now we got extra stream coming out of there. So now, you can go ahead and bring this in. Now, technically, guys, it's actually bled, and I can be pretty done right now. But you can't take a chance like that, especially if it's a customer's car. You got to make sure all the air is bled out of this system. So we got that. Now you get your line wrench, or if you want, get your 10mm wrench, and just to bring them in. I don't know why am I loosening it. Sylvia looking at me. Let me.
I was looking and I'm like, isn't it going the wrong way? And I was like, nothing. Well, I'm not the mechanic.
You don't say nothing to me. You don't use this as tightening up unless you have to. Just bring it until it's snug. This makes it a lot easier, quicker. Alright, then take your 10. And guys, this is aluminum right here. You can strip this out if you tighten it up too tight. So don't tighten it up tight. Just you can feel the snugness of it. If you tighten it up too, if you don't tighten it up enough, when you go to step on the brakes, it will leak and there will be air into the system. So make sure it's tight enough. Perfect. Our brake fluid is up there, good enough. Now, bleeding the system on brakes, you want to start from the wheel furthest away from the master cylinder. So we're right here, so what wheel is the furthest away?
Rear right.
Exactly. And then after that?
Rear left.
Exactly. So the first thing we're going to do is bleed the back brakes. Now I'm only going to show you bleeding one wheel because all of them is going to be the same way. Exactly the same way. Alright, so what we're going to have to do is jack the car up. I'm going to take the tires off in the back. I'm doing this so you can see it, but you don't have to. You can jack it up and get up under it and bleed them, but that's too much. I'm going to take the wheel off. Alright, so let's put our cap back on it. If your brake fluid is low, this is a good time to fill it up. Alright, let's take this up and I'll meet you in the back. Alright, we got the right rear wheel off. You're going to take you a bucket or something, place it down. Now it's going to have a little rubber boot right here. That's so dirt, don't get into the bleeder. That's all you're going to do is pop that off. Yeah. Dang it.
Easier said than done.
Heck yeah, I'm just dang it right. Ah, there we go. Alright, so you're going to have it, let me make sure I got the right size here. Alright, this one's an 8mm. Now what you want to do first, now if you're in a rust infested area, you might have a hard time loosening these up because they get seized up in there. If that's the case, what you want to do is take you a punch or something and you want to keep hitting it right there, especially like an air hammer, but I don't know, very light hitting this at the same time putting pressure on that. Believe me, it will come right off, or you're going to end up changing the whole caliper. So what you want to do first is make sure that this is it loose? Alright, that is good. 3 ways of bleeding this. One is called gravity bleed, which will take you forever. That's leaving this open, and eventually gravity will pull this, and as soon as you start to see it dripping out, then it's bled. Second way is there's a machine to do it. Third way, which is the safest way, which I like the best, is have somebody sit in the car. Now, Sylvia's going to sit in the car, and what you're going to have the person do is I'm going to say, all right, pump them up. She's going to pump the brake pedal up, and I'm going to say, hold it down. She's going to hold it down. While she's holding it down, I'm going to open this up. Brake fluid is going to shoot out of here, and then her brake pedal is going to go to the floor. Don't tell the person, do not let up on that brake pedal at all. It's going to go down and keep holding it down. Close it off. And then they let it. I'm gonna say let it up. Then she's gonna let it up. What you're looking for is a nice smooth stream come out of here. If you open it up at one time and you hear it go, or you see bubbles, that means there's air in the line. All right, let's get ready and get this done. All right, she's sitting inside the car. I'm gonna get ready here. Got my pan down there. All right, pump it up. Hold down, Oh, see? No air came out of there. That is good. Now we're going to do this about 5 times and then go check the fluid. Pump it up. Hold down. Pump it up. Hold down. Pump it up. Hold down. And that wheel is done. And make sure that's nice and tight. Put the cover back on it and move on to the next wheel. So we're going to do all 4 wheels and then we're going to be right back. Alright, we finished bleeding all the brakes. We're going to have to add brake fluid. This part right here, guys, is very important. Before we start putting everything together, you dropped a lot of brake fluid dropped down there. Even though we had the rags there, it soaked up a little bit, but there's a lot of brake fluid down there. That is a fire hazard. So what you want to do is take your water hose, your mass airflow sensor connector, just tuck that out of the way. Get your hose. Just wash all down there. Use a lot of water. Wash it all down. You got your exhaust system down there as well. Alright, let me put this hose. Dang it, raggedy hose. Alright, let me put this up. Alright, now we're going to get our air filter housing. Remember, we got the 2 rubber grommets down there and the 2 posts up here. Right there and right there. Make sure they line up. Bring it down in there. Put the hose on. This one over here a little bit. There we go. Push that down. That's in. Put our hose on. We're going to get our pliers. Bring that down. Get our connector harness to our mass airflow sensor. One right there, one up here, and push this on till you hear it clicks. That is good. The next thing you'll do is take your 10mm bolt and get that bolt down in there. Let me get the light.
Yeah. Well, they saw when you took it out.
Yeah, I can use this.
No, there's no working.
Oh. Alright, you still want to take it out. Get that bolt in there, tighten it up. Alright, we got that down. We tighten up this clamp also as well. Remember that, want that clamp down. Let's get our air filter housing in. Got the 2 openings right there. They go into the tabs. So let's bring those down. Bring that down so you get it into there. You'll feel when this air filter goes right in that crease right there, that's when you know you're in down there. If not, then you're in trouble. It ain't gonna go. There we go. Alright. Bring it forward. And just clip both clips in place. Take our engine cover. We got our 2 5mm hex bolts. Supposed to be 3. The 3rd one will be right there. But it's not. Alright. Put a cover on. You can put it on the right way. Alright. Put the bolts in. Always turn your bolts by a couple threads just so you make sure they're not cross-threaded. And then tighten those up. Alright guys, last 2 things. Take out your 2 bolts over here for your air tube. The round part goes into here. Put it in there. Bring it down. Start your bolts off by a couple threads by hand to make sure it's not cross-threaded. Tighten the bolts up. Last but not least, top off your brake fluid. Open it up. I should have did this when this cover was off. So what I'm going to do here is use me a small little funnel. And you got a max line up there. I don't know if you can see that. No, but the max line is right there. Nah. So we're going to fill that up. And once you fill that up, close it off. And you are done.
You're not done. You forgot something.
I did?
Yep.
What did I forget?
The battery terminal.
Oh, my bad. All right. Guess I would have realized that when I went to go start this car. Move it.
Yep.
Alright, so take your negative battery terminal. But this better be a good time, guys. Get some wire brush or something. Clean that off on here. That's loose, so it came off good. And 10mm. Tighten that up. And now you are done. Hope you enjoyed the video.